What's up, all you nerds? My name's Leslie Smith. Welcome to the Nerdy Narrative. I like reading things, fantasy, sci-fi, horror, and manga, a little nonfiction. Oh, ring that bell, comment, like, subscribe. If you want to share it with your friends, that would be great. Hey! In today's episode of fun, I finally get to reveal to you my secret book that I have been teasing you with all month. But before I do that, I'm going to reveal to you the booktuber who was my Secret Santa BookTuber. And I bet when I tell you who it is, for those of you that are subscribed to him, I bet you can guess right away what book I chose to read that was his favorite. First, let me explain to you what the whole Secret Santa BookTuber thing is. So Andy Smith, one of the other Worldhoppers, came up with this great idea. He's like, guys, what if we draw names? And the booktuber you get, you go to their channel and you look at their reviews and you find a book they reviewed that is one of their favorites. You read that book and you review it on your channel, and we'll drop all the reviews on December 21st. Well, of course we thought it was a great idea, and what is absolutely hysterical is I drew Andy Smith's name. Now, if you're familiar with Andy's channel, there are two things the man loves. The Liveship Trader series, more specifically, Ship of Magic, and Malazan. So since I was already planning to do the Malazan read-along with Mike's book review starting in January, the only obvious choice for me was Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. Now, for those of you who know me very well, you know that I first got started with Robin Hobb earlier this year when I read Assassin's Apprentice. While I absolutely adored the woman's writing style, her prose is just, quite honestly, the most beautiful of any fantasy writer I've ever read. I'm sorry, that's just my personal opinion. The woman broke my heart so many times with Assassin's Apprentice. The book just broke my heart, and when my heart began mending, she ripped it out and stomped on it again. In fact, the only book that I literally threw in anger while reading in 2020 was Assassin's Apprentice. And granted, I only threw it because I bought it secondhand, so it was already raggedy anyway, so I didn't feel that bad about it. But it broke my heart. So that brings me to Ship of Magic. Before I was a quarter of a way into this book, I knew this was going to be a 5-star read for me. It's a completely different type of fantasy story, and it is just absolutely beautiful. It's so interesting. It's unique. I love the premise. I love the things that she did with this world. By the time I was halfway through, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and finish the Farseer trilogy. Here's why. I heard on somebody else's channel, I believe it was Alan from the Library of Alexandria, I heard that the ending of this trilogy spoils the Farseer trilogy. And so I said, you know, I'm going to go finish that trilogy, and then I'm going to finish the Liveship Trader series. So Andy, thank you so much for coming up with the Secret Santa BookTuber idea, because that in itself was really fun. Secondly, thank you so much for loving this book, because you and I don't hardly ever have the same opinions on the books that we read, but this one, 100% share the love with you. I can't wait to talk to you about this book. I've been dying. Y'all, I picked a 5-star read. It was supposed to be a secret. I was not supposed to tell anybody. I confess, I told some people. I had to talk to someone about this book. I had to. I was trying to like get on Voxer with Michael Knepp and like vague vox about it, but then I just had to tell him. I had to tell him. And then I was kind of dumb and I posted a funny picture on Instagram, and I marked the title off of the page, but some people got crafty and blew it up and saw one of the character names and figured it out, which was, you know, fine, because then I had more people to talk about with this book. I also have a confession to make. I am doing this review and I'm not done with the book. I couldn't do it. It is a book that you can't speed through. I have read and reread several passages and chapters. There's so much to take in. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've read a chapter and then remembered something from another chapter that I wanted to just kind of go back and reread and verify. And then there's just so many quotable things from this book, so much beauty in the writing that I just have reread it sometimes up to 3 times. It's not one that you can speed through. I just love this world. I'm a huge fan of animal companions, but the thing that I like second to animal companions are sentient beings. And in this book, which Ship of Magic is the first book in the Liveship Trader series. So the title of the trilogy, Liveship, that should probably clue you in on what the sentient thing is in this book. Those are the ships. There are certain ships that belong to families that settled the cursed shores that are called live ships. They're built with wizard wood, which is enchanted wood of a type. And what happens is when the 3rd generation captain of a family dies on board, like all 3 generations, the captain of the same family with the same bloodline has to die on board. When that happens, the ship quickens. The ship's figurehead awakens. I just can't explain to you how amazing it is, and just the way that Hobb literally brings it to life in this book is just epic. It's unique. It is nothing I've ever read before, and there are several different plot lines that are happening in this story. We're getting multiple POVs, which is something I enjoy. I like getting a story from multiple POVs because it just gives you a more well-rounded picture that you're putting together. But we're following the family of one particular live ship, that is the Vestrit. We're also following another main character who is a pirate, and he is not a very savory character. He seems to be outwardly at first, but guys, I'm telling you, he is not a good person. Like I said, I haven't finished yet, but my prediction is going to be this guy is going to be very bad news. His name is Kenneth, and he actually visits an island where he meets an oracle that are called the Others. He also ends up stealing something from the island, which is a big no-no, so I'm hoping he gets what is due. He hasn't yet. Oh my gosh. So on top of that, we've got another character, Brashen, and another live ship who is considered bad luck and cursed. Like, his eyes have been hacked out. Supposedly, he like flipped over and drowned 2 complete crews that sailed on him. His name is Paragon. I don't know his story yet, but I like him. I really hope he turns out to be a good ship because I'm fascinated with his story, and I just feel like he's a good guy. And you know, there's always 3 sides to every story. The crews that sailed him, Paragon's story, and then the truth. So I haven't uncovered all of it yet, but we're getting there. And then in addition to all of that, we have a prologue of sea serpents. They're sentient, they're aware, and they're migrating. But I don't know why they're migrating. They don't tell you why, but like something's going on. So we have all of these different POVs. We've got these like 4 different storylines that are, I'm sure, going to connect in some way, shape, fashion, or form. I'm extremely interested to see how it's all going to come about. So a couple of themes that are explored in this: colonization. We know that these families, these trader families that have these live ships, they were sent to settle the cursed shores. There were a people there before, and I haven't discovered all of their secrets yet, but the old trader families have a pact with these Rain River wild people, and I am so in to find out what that is. And all I know about it so far is they're supposed to pay the Rain River people ever so often, I think in seasons. the difference when the seasons change, they pay them in gold. And if they're short what they're owing to the Rain River people, they have to give up like a kid or a grandkid. Like, I mean, there's so much. So you have colonization going on. Another theme is slavery. And there, you know, and some of the people are wanting to deal with slave trade. Some aren't. Right now in the main town, Bingtown, slavery is illegal because the ships are just wanting to make as much money as possible while doing as less work as possible, is what it seems to me. So, oh my gosh. And right now where I'm at, there's just so much turmoil going on. The main ship for the Vestrits, she just quickened. Her name is Vivacia. And the daughter of the captain that was raised to take over Vivacia had it ripped from her grasp right as her father died. Her mom had this whole scheme in place, and she had the oldest daughter take it from the youngest daughter. But the live ship, Vivacia, will not sail unless someone of the Vestrit family bloodline is on board. So the mom gets around having the daughters on board by putting one of the grandsons on board. Well, the problem with that, the grandson was promised to be a priest with their religion of Sa. So they go rip him out of the monastery and throw him on this boat. He doesn't want to be there, but he also forms a kind of accidental bond with the ship, with Vivacia. So what's going to happen? Is the youngest daughter, Althea, who by right should have taken ownership of Vivacia, is she going to get her back? How is she going to get her back? What is Paragon's role? Is he going to sail again? So how are these pieces going to fit together? How is this puzzle going to make a complete picture? So we have sea serpents who are sentient. We have live ships, which some of them are sentient. We've got the pirates. We've got the trader families. We've got the Rain River wild people. Oh, I'm telling you. 25% of the way in, I knew this was going to be a 5-star read. Halfway through, I knew I was going to be completing this trilogy and that it was enough to make me harden my heart and finish out the Farseer trilogy so I could finish that out and then complete this trilogy. I am so grateful that Andy loves this book because I share that love of this story, of this author with him. I cannot wait to finish it so I can gush about it with him. I mean, y'all, I've said it so many times on this channel, I'll say it again. There's nothing better than talking about books with your friends, especially when it is a favorite that you share. I have to admit, Andy has great taste in things other than hair and fashion. He has great taste in books. So that also gives me confidence about starting the Malazan read-along with Mike's book reviews in January. That is Andy's favorite series. So knowing that this was another favorite of his and reading it and finding it to be a favorite of mine as well, that really gives me confidence I'm going to enjoy Malazan. So Andy, thank you so much for loving this book. I apologize that I haven't finished it yet. I can't wait. I just couldn't speed through it. I couldn't speed through it. It's just beautifully written. Robin Hobb's prose is just unmatched. Besides the prose, the story, the world building, the character development, I swear I can smell the sea when I'm reading this book. I can smell the sea. I can see the blue of the waters. I can see how beautiful these live ships are. I can smell the stench of the slave ships. Guys, this book is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's just written wonderfully well. It stands up. It stands up. Of course, when you write in fantasy, it's going to stand the test of time, except for the writing style. The writing style is usually how you can date a fantasy author, except for Robin Hobb. Robin Hobb deserves a seat at the highest table of fantasy authors. She herself is an amazing person. She was born in California, raised in Alaska, had 4 kids, And while she was writing her novels, she also, I believe, was a post office worker. She was a mail carrier deliverer. I mean, holy smokes. The woman is absolutely brilliant. Just brilliant. So, if you have read Robin Hobb, you've probably read the Liveship Trader series. Please come chat with me down in the comments below. No spoilers, please. Although I hope by the time that this goes up, I've finished it. But just in case, or if other people who are down there floating around that are interested in reading it, no spoilers. And for those of you who have read all of her work or who've read a lot of it, what's your favorite of Hobb's work? What should I read next after Farseer and Liveship? So let me know down below. Have you read Hobb? Do you love her? What should I read of her next after I finish the Farseer trilogy and the Liveship Traders? So if you have not checked out Andy Smith's channel yet, I'm going to have him linked below. He has a lot of really great Malzahn content out. He has started his journey through the Dresden Files, so he's got a few reviews out for that as well. Plus, of course, his Robin Hobb, which I highly recommend. Andy's reviews are just very intellectual, they're classy, they're so well done. He has a gift with words himself. I love to watch his reviews, even if they're on books that I have no interest in reading. Of course, he sold me on this one, but I'm glad I waited to pick it up, or I would have probably been a little screwed on what to do for my secret booktuber. What a fantastic idea for the Worldhoppers to do with one another on the holidays. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was so much fun to keep this little book a secret and have a good time reading it, except for the part where I loved it so much I had no one to talk to about it. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please click that like button so that I know that you loved it. Don't forget to hit me up in the comments down below. Tell me if you've read Hobb. Did you love her? What's your favorite thing by her? And as always, thank you for watching. I hope your morning got off to a wonderful start. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Guys, it is the week of Christmas. Merry Christmas! I'll see you soon.